If I saw another day, only to scream into the night. Nothing ever tries to change, even if I want to realize. 'Cause I've been sitting here, same old ways, taking off about the same mistake. Darling, will you go away? It won't be as simple for you.
Right. Yo, guys. It is Old Man G here, back again with another match reaction. It is Manchester United 3, Bournemouth 0, in what was ultimately a comfortable game for Manchester United. Before we get into it, you need to remember to like, share, and subscribe to Devil Studio. Follow us on Twitter United and smash that notification button. Latest Manchester United news and more. Not transfer news, though, because we're not going to be signing anybody. It is what it is. But yeah, shout out, guys. Thanks everyone who actually joined in and watched the Twitch stream. I'm still tempted, not sure whether I'm going to do watch-alongs on YouTube as of yet. But if you do want to see my live match watch-alongs, please head over to Twitch. I pinned the link in the description. Follow me on Twitch. I'm doing watch-alongs there. Shout out to Sebastian in chat. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining. But yes, comfortable win for Manchester United. 3-0 the scoreline. Shout out to those watching Facebook on well, by the way. But yeah, 3-0 scoreline to Manchester United. Casemiro, absolutely fantastic. RDS link. Yep, let me put it in. Yes, this is going to be a open one. So if you want to come in, I'll just, that's the StreamYard link for those. In fact, what? Yeah, the StreamYard link is in the chat. So if you want to come on and discuss and have your thoughts, let me know. Also to those on Facebook as well. If you want to come on, have your say, that is the streamer link. Get involved. Anyway, yeah, let's get into it. So yeah, I just start with my piece because my goodness, man, that was C Pride in the background, man. I'll bring you in a second. It was a comfortable game at the end of the day. It was a comfortable game, and at the end of the day, at the start of the game, you know, when the team was announced, I think there were a lot of changes. A lot of people thought, my goodness, that's a lot of changes. That's a lot of changes. That is a lot of changes. And seeing Maguire back in the team, seeing Lindelof back into the team, seeing Bruno on the right, all these things I think was a bit it was a bit tricky. I think for lots of Manchester United, I think I was very much in the way, I don't know how this is going to work. But at the end of the day, it worked. It worked, and whatever you say, Bournemouth, okay, De Gea made a few good saves, point-blank saves, and they did have a bit more opportunity in the second half. But really and truly, did Bournemouth really feel like they were going to score a goal? I don't think so. Brilliant set piece, obviously, by Eriksen. Cassie gets onto the goal, and Casemiro, for me, is probably tied with Shaw for man of the match. Casemiro had a fantastic... I don't know where Manchester United would be this season without Casemiro. I don't. I really, really don't know where Casemiro would be. Do you think Arsenal can win the Premier League since DMN? Well, that's interesting. We'll probably talk about that a bit later when I bring, obviously, Pride. I think that's Samasi in the chat in. But I don't. But that's a very good question, and my answer to the question is I'm not sure. This week is going to be and I said this week was going to be very interesting for football. Very interesting because a lot of the next 2 weeks, a lot of the teams in the top 7 are going to be playing each other and taking points off each other. You know, United in January have to play City and Arsenal. So that's going to be big. So United actually are going to be a decider in this title race. United plays City at home and United away, and I don't know how it's going to go. If I'm honest, we could lose both of those games. We could win both of those games. We could win one. We could draw them. But United are going to be a factor. City play Chelsea next. which is going to be an interesting game. Arsenal play Spurs next. It's going to be an interesting game. Liverpool, I think, play. I think it's Chelsea, etc. So there are a lot of interesting games that are being had by the top 7, and I think this month is going to be a key mark in the title race and also the top 4 race as well. Shout out to AD as well, man. Shout out to AD as well. Make sure you guys, if you're watching, go and subscribe to AD's channel. He does a lot of good stuff on his channel, man. Really appreciate it. So yeah, it's going to be tough. But going back to this game and focusing on Manchester United for a second, it was just comfortable. And the first half, I always said, we need to go. We need to get the second goal. We need to make it secure. And Berto, who in my opinion was probably one of the best, is having one of the best seasons in my personal opinion. Shaw is having a fantastic season. And I just think that with Shaw, the competition for Malacia, he's doing bits. He's doing bits. Oh, Rasmus, man, long time no see, man. Shout out to you, bro. Long time member, man. I hope you're doing well, buddy. I really hope you're doing well, man. I really, really hope you're doing well, man. 30 plus people watching on YouTube, guys. Make sure you like the video, and subscribe. Abbas says Champions League Varane, but yeah, man, I am really I'm really happy with this result. I really am. The third goal, obviously, Rashford scored. Obviously, before I go into talking about the third goal, can I just say the referee was trash. The referee was awful. That challenge on Van der Beek was garbage. Should have been more than I think. I don't even know if he got a yellow card. I don't actually think he got a yellow card. I don't think he got a yellow card at all. So that was bad in and of itself. And then I think it was when Garnacho came on. He had 2 cynical challenges. I don't know what the referee was doing today, but the referee was trash. He was garbage. Total garbage, But we got the job done anyway. And shout out to Rashford getting that third goal, man. Brilliant ball again by Berto Carlos. Fantastic ball by Berto. We then go in. He crosses it it's a pass to Bruno, and then it's just a tap in for Marcus Rashford. And then boom, game set and match. So Manchester United obviously now, if we sort of go back, I think if we go and bring up the Premier League table, let's have a look. Is there a way to bring up the Premier? Yes, there is actually. Scroll down. Yeah. Manchester United are still 4th, but 35 points. But most importantly, it puts us 5 points clear of Spurs playing the same amount of games, 7 points clear of Liverpool playing the same number of games. And I mean, I had to scroll for Chelsea, man. I had to scroll. Like, guys, see, this is the table here, right? I had to scroll to see Chelsea Football Club. I had to scroll. I had to scroll. And here they are. They've obviously got a game in hand, but that game in hand tomorrow is going to be against Manchester City. And if Chelsea don't beat City, 10 points behind United, and they're 3 points even behind Fulham in the Conference League spot, let alone top 4, let alone Europa League. So if I'm a Chelsea fan right now, it's getting quite peak, really. When you're having to scroll down to see your team, it's getting peak. It really, really is. But overall, I'm happy with the result. I'm so happy with the result for Manchester United. And long may it continue. So I'm going to get Pride and Bayern into chat. Let me just quickly read your comments. Champions League, Varane, bonjour. 9 points off top. Chelsea are 10th. That is interesting. I mean, actually, you got a point, actually. We are only 9 points off top. I mean, guys, okay, no. Relax. Because at the end of the day, we've beaten the teams we need to beat. Because if you think about it, deep it, Wolves, Bournemouth, okay, 15th. And who else did we play? Forest. So we beat, arguably, I mean, if you look at the form of these teams, Wolves, okay, Southampton actually have worse form. Interesting. West Ham's bad as well. Jeez, man. Yeah, essentially, we played teams that aren't particularly in form, and Wolves have 1 win in 5 and a draw. Bournemouth have 1 win in 5, and Nottingham Forest have a win and a draw, but so they're not doing too bad. Actually, they did not do too badly recently, did they? against who was it against? Chelsea? Was it Chelsea? I think they got a draw. Yeah. But the point is, that tougher tests lie ahead for Manchester United at the end of the day. But given the fact that United plays City and Arsenal, could that be a factor? Because if Chelsea beat City, United are only a point. And right now, we're only a point behind City if Chelsea beat City. And then if United beat City and if United beat Arsenal, it does open things up. I would say it does open things up. And that's what I said, United are a key factor here. United are a key factor because if United win, beat City and Arsenal, what are we saying? What are we saying? That's all I will say. What are we saying? What are we saying? I think Manchester United need to have to strengthen. They do. Manchester United have to strengthen. Jam. They have to strengthen. Jam. There's no doubt about that. Have hope has gone hiding. Probably. Let me get these guys on, by the way. They've been waiting for a while. So hold up. Yo, Pride and Samasia. Pride, go to you first. Obviously, United fan. Thoughts on the game? Just to start off with. Pride, are you there? Pride. Okay. Go to Samasi. Samasi, thoughts on the game?
Yeah, great game from United. Roberto is back. Luke Shaw's crossing were great this evening, I have to say. And Rashford was okay. He got the tap in, he got his goal. Casemiro is the most complete midfielder at the moment. I think nobody can really touch him. And great game from United. And we have to say, Ten Hag, man, first season, disastrous start. And look at Man United now, third, fourth place, and probably gonna get third place after this week because you have one game in hand, or you have one game less than Newcastle, I think.
Let me go. Yes, we have one game. Yeah.
I think you're gonna win, so it's gonna be 38 pounds. So I think Man United's gonna get the third place.
Fair enough. Thanks, Samasi. Pride, you there?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, man. What are your thoughts on this game, United so far, etc.?
Yeah, before the game, when I saw the lineup, I was really breaking it because Bournemouth. The thing with Bournemouth is they don't they play decent football. Like if you watch their last few games, they only lost because lapse in concentration. Like two out of the blue chances because of which they lost. So I was really breaking it when I saw Maguire and Lindelof at the back, and I was like, you shouldn't really change your back four if you want to have sustained pressure. But because of which, I don't think we played that as great as we did against, let's say, Nottingham Forest or other opponents. But it was a really good performance in the end. We didn't have to go into second gear to beat these guys. We still scored 3 goals easily. And another fun fact is we haven't conceded a single goal at Old Trafford since the Arsenal game. So that's another. Yeah, so that's another clean sheet, One thing I like to see for the next games is that I want to see the fullbacks overlapping a lot more. If you watch the match, the full match again, you wouldn't say, if you watch Shaw closely, he wasn't overlapping as much as you would like him to be up until that second goal. So that's another thing
I wonder whether that's because I'm not sure, because when Rashford is on the left, I feel like he does that more. I'm not entirely sure what the front three situation was, where at times in the first half, it looked like Martial was on the left. And he doesn't seem to do that when Martial was there. But as soon as Rashford went to the left and then Martial sort of came to, so I think, was it when Van der Beek came on?
Mm-hmm.
And I think he had to put on
Garnacho,
and then Bruno came. I think I almost noticed that's when Rashford went to the left, and then Martial came to the number 9, and I think Garnacho went to the right. I think.
yeah.
That's
And
when
that's what led to the second goal. If you see that second goal, it was
Yeah.
Rashford and Shaw on that side.
Exactly.
And they link up really well. So
Exactly.
one thing I want to see. I want to see those overlaps, because if you see teams like Arsenal and Man City, they do these overlaps really well. So that's another thing I want to see. But RDS, I wanted to ask you,
Yes.
for the next 2 games, what is your prediction or your realistic prediction for the amount of points we can get? Because remember, we're away at Arsenal, so
Arsenal. I mean, it's interesting. Because realistically, I want 4 points. Realistically, I want 4 points. And it's very difficult to judge because you look, for example, City drop points against Everton, and then that same Everton team get absolutely humiliated by Brighton at home.
Yeah.
Does that mean anything? I don't know. You know what I mean? So
yes. I think Man City's defense is vulnerable. I think Man United could win against them.
Sorry, go on. Yeah, continue. Yeah.
Because I think they have a hard time adapting with Haaland, and Haaland doesn't really track back, so it's one man less defending. That's why I think, and they had a lot of injuries also.
But the thing is, we're going to be playing at home, so the reason why City couldn't beat Everton was because Everton sat back basically. But since we're playing at home, we're gonna be forced upon the initiative.
But do you think that my only thing about that was that there's a possibility that Ten Hag is thinking, okay, I don't know, I don't want what happened away to City to happen again. So rather than going all guns, but I mean, it's difficult because we didn't have Casemiro against City, and it's clear that Casemiro is a huge difference. The defense obviously looks a lot more solid, and attack-wise, I think there's a bit more confidence there. So it's difficult to compare, but at the same time, I do think there's something in Ten Hag's mind that's thinking, you know what, I'm not going to do what I did against City. I'm not going to try and outpossess them. And it might be that United resort to the counter-attack where we have the ability to sit deep and defend, well, Samasi said, the United defense is solid, and we have the players to hit, like basically Ollie ball again. We have the players to hit them on the break, Martial and Rashford, because I think Martial came on as well. So Martial will start, Rashford will start, plus or minus if he uses Garnacho or Anthony, I don't know. And then taking from there, so... but like I said, in answer to your question, I don't really know. I think Arsenal at the Emirates again is interesting because you saw what Newcastle did just now with their defense again being good. So I think for me, even the most important thing is not to lose, because even if we draw both those games and lose 4 points, City and Arsenal ahead of Manchester United, it's not really a big deal, and I don't anticipate Liverpool and Chelsea to not continue to lose points at some opportunity, if that makes sense. Let me just quickly.
Even if we lose,
go on.
Even if we draw, it means that they don't get the 3 points, So
exactly.
They're still in touching distance of us.
Exactly. But if we somehow were to beat Arsenal and City,
oh my god,
then that's when things get interesting. I think things start to get interesting. If
you if you beat Arsenal and Man City, that's 6 points against them.
And also, it makes that it just makes what the top 3 it makes the top 3 look interesting.
RDS, don't say it. I'm
not saying anything.
Uncomfortable conversation will be held.
I'm not saying anything.
Don't say that.
I'm not saying anything.
Don't jinx it. I'm not
jinxing anything. I'm not saying anything.
I've seen so many shameless people today saying after today's result, saying that word, and I don't want.
No.
But can I add something? In Pep's first season, which which standing had Man City? Were they
Oh, where did
second,
they
third?
finish?
Oh, they finished
Yeah.
Fourth, I think it was. It was
Fourth,
fourth.
yeah.
'Cause I think that
If
was
Ten Hag
If
in
they-
his first season, with all the Ronaldo drama and the bad transfers and all the shenanigans going on, Man United finish above Man City or finished third. What I gonna say about Pep? What I gonna say about Pep?
There'll be some interesting conversations about Pep, especially if United don't get any signing. This is why this. I mean, I'll quick go to some comments because a few people mentioned some key points here. Let me quickly.
Actually, one interesting question I wanted to ask.
Sorry, hold on. Sorry, hold on for 1 second. Prior, I'll just quickly just comments. I'll come back to you. Believe that we are saying so. A good balance in the squad. Ali Baji, good balance in the squad. Abbas, Shobota, Carlos. Ali Baji says, Shaw's a monster. Agree, Casemiro, much needed player. Exactly. Mawada says the top 4 is the target for the season. It is. It absolutely is. If Rashford, Casemiro get injured, we're in trouble. ET looks maybe. Yeah, and the thing is, what I'm the reason why, even though I said those things, I'm not gassed at all. Is the simple fact that if United don't sign anything or strengthen anybody, we are going to get injuries. Casemiro's going to get injured. And the positive thing about this game for me was that we saw that the bench players were able to come in and at least do a job. Wan-Bissaka's able to come and do a job. Lindelof, Maguire, Fred, etc. So that is encouraging. But that said, United need to sign in January. Somebody, anybody. Even if it means recalling Ahmad on loan, I don't know. But the squad depth is not there because I don't know what's happening with Sancho. I don't know what's going on. He's obviously not ready. Van der Beek now. We've now got an injury. The injury's already going to start. He's injured. He's gone. He's out of the team. Marshall will probably get injured again. So we need to increase the depth, SMB says... Oh, sorry,
we need a forward, ideally, a striker to replace Martial.
By the way, the Frankfurt striker, I think he will be free this summer if you just pay a little bit for Frankfurt. They're gonna sell him.
It's
there are so many signings I can think of that I'm thinking, boom, I didn't even know till recently.
He's gonna be cheap and he's actually really good. I think Bayern also info him. So if Bayern wants somebody, he's a good player.
Not Frankfurt, it's Gladbach.
You're making so much sense. The reality, though, is you're talking about the Glazers. I mean, I didn't even know that Yuri Tillemans is going to be going for a free this summer. I'm not saying Yuri Tillemans is world class, but I would take Yuri Tillemans over Freddie McTominay. And you only have to pay 10 million. We could give Leicester 10 million in the January transfer window, and that's that. We've got another midfielder.
RDS, we can get Tillemans and Marcus Thuram for 25 million.
For 25 million, and there you've already improved the Manchester United squad.
The sport is useless.
Yeah, well,
the sport is useless.
I think, to be honest, the thing is, unfortunately, is that while United are doing well, the reality is that the Glazers are trying to sell the club. And I think that because the Glazers are trying to sell the club, I don't think they have any appetite to make any bigger substantial transfers. It's simple as that.
It's not just that. I can understand why they don't want to sign anybody, but because they don't like the cash reserves. We have like 25 million in the in our, and they don't want to take another loan, because that's going to increase the price of the club. So I understand why they don't want to do it, but it sucks anyway because if we do get these players, then who knows where we might finish the season. That's why I don't think we're gonna have. I'm not gonna say that word, but we're not gonna be there, and we're gonna be around the top 4 because I can see Arsenal buying players. I can see Newcastle buying players. I think I can see Liverpool making another signing. I can see Chelsea maybe even Tottenham as well. But we're not gonna be making any signings. I don't think so. So that's why I don't think we're not gonna be up there.
Guys, more than 100 people watching. Please make sure that you like the video and subscribe to Red Devil Studio if you're new. Please hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way. We're almost, I think, 4 subscribers away from the big free. So please, if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe to the channel. It makes all the difference. Let me quickly read some more comments, and then we'll just quickly go back into the game. Anybody says Marshall needs to give us a bit of a tick and man management, as I truly believe there has always been unlocked potential. Now he's getting on, so we need him to turn up now. Yes, I agree. However, I think a lot of it is just due to his injuries. I think Ten Hag is thinking he's trying to. There is man management there because he's trying to manage his injury record. And you don't want to overplay Martial. That's why it's coming off at 60 minutes, 65 minutes, etc. Because he's just trying to build him in, give that confidence again. Because you're right, we do need Martial. Because if Martial gets injured again, you're relying on Anthony, Garnacho, and Rashford. Because Sancho's nowhere to be seen, and you're relying on these three and Elanga. Shout out to Garnacho, by the way. Garnacho actually,
he was good.
Really good, you know. So
plus, I don't think Martial has match sharpness. You know, he hasn't played for so long, so I think 10 hours is trying to ease him in. But I wanted to ask you this question actually to both of you.
Yeah, go for it.
Who would you rather win the title, Arsenal or Man City?
Oh, Arsenal.
Really?
I do say that it's because for two reasons. I'll give you two reasons. One, because I don't want City to match Fergie's record of defending the title 3 times in a row. That's the first thing, because everyone's saying it's easy. It's not easy. To have to kind of revamp a team and keep a team motivated for 3 seasons back to back is not easy. The second thing is that whatever you say about Arsenal, what this shows is that you can actually, if you believe in a manager and back him and give him time and you see a vision, you can actually deliver. So, you know, because let's be real, yes, City winning league, but people are like, yeah, this is winning, but yeah, they've been able to buy the best players, they've been able to spend loads of money, and they've got the best manager in the world. So, you know, it's no surprise that City winning the league. If Arsenal win the league, it's like, whoa. So if we actually not back the manager every two seasons, if we give them money, if we back them, if we see the vision, if we actually give them control, you know, so like if the players are making like, you know, like the whole, like I still remember the season when Arsenal fans, because this is the thing about Arsenal fans, right, is that a lot of them are going to be like, oh yeah, if we win the league, Arsenal, blah, blah, blah. But I'll say, listen, have shame. Because a lot of you guys less than a season ago were saying Arteta out. We're saying you're done, like he was a fraud, etc., etc. I've got receipts. So if any Arsenal fans want to come at me and be like, oh yeah, Arsenal bet the United, blah, blah, blah. I've got receipts of plenty of Arsenal fans. The only Arsenal fan I have respect for is Ty. Literally, the only Arsenal fan I have respect for right now is Ty. Because Ty, love him or hate him, he backs the club and backs the manager no matter what.
Yeah, so Arsenal fans are flip-flops.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Aside from Ty, he's the only guy I'm like, fair play, Ty.
Godlock is an Arsenal fan. Godlock is an Arsenal fan.
Is he?
He said,
has he admitted that?
Yeah, yesterday a members hangout. He said his fan base are flip-flops. And I said, oh my God. No, he's 100% an Arsenal fan.
Do you realize how shameless this Arsenal fan base is going to be once they win the league?
Yeah, of course.
No, it's gonna be bad.
Going to hear the end of it.
Of course they'll be, but this is what I'm saying. It's like they can be shameless, but it's just that the ammunition at every other fan base will be like, okay, yeah, celebrate, but we've already seen, like, they can't be so if let's say Troops comes out and is like, listen, have at it. I have tons of clips of him like raging and selling Arteta out t-shirts. It's like, what are you doing? Like you can like, I've got clips of you. You know what I mean? It's but anyway,
it's the same.
Sorry,
it's the same. Yeah, it's the same thing with Core and a lot of fan fans. They will still want Julian Nagelsmann out, even though it's not his problem if our forwards can't score a goal. So it's idiotic.
Yeah, so the thing is, with the managers, it's his job to help the team create the chances, but it's the player's job to actually score, you know? So if Nagelsmann is doing his job of creating chances, it's up to the players to finish it. So that's true.
Abba says still needs a striker. Abba says beating Arsenal City is asking for too much. It is. And I'm jinxing. Yeah, exactly. So United are going to lose to City and Arsenal. It's not going to happen.
That's what I'm saying. I only expect a minimum, like maximum of 2 points.
Yeah, 2 points. 2 points. If we don't lose, I'm happy with that. Or if we win one draw, I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
If we win both, then you know, we'll cross that bridge if it comes. I think we'll cross the bridge when it comes, because if that happens, things get interesting. That's what I say. Things get interesting. Marshall is. Oh yes, I've already written that. SMB. If Man United beat Arsenal, I think I might hide and ditch somewhere. That would make me sick. SMB, it's not going to happen. Okay, it's not going to happen. You know why it's not going to happen? Because if I just scroll down a bit, this team, Liverpool, going to come clutch. Like Liverpool, who do Liverpool have? Liverpool are playing Brighton away.
Oh, they're going to lose against Brighton.
Yeah, actually.
They're going to lose.
Brighton away is going to be tough, actually.
Have you seen Mitoma today?
Yeah.
Jesus, Mitoma is a great player.
Yeah, he was very, very good. I mean, Lampard.
Somebody, if the takeover for United started, somebody needs to get the head of the scouting system in Brighton and bring them to Man United.
Oh, Chelsea already signed them. Chelsea already signed them.
Oh my God, they did?
Yeah.
Liverpool have got to away to Brighton. Then they've got Chelsea at home. Wolves away should be fine. Everton, you never know with the Merseyside derby, and then Newcastle away. Liverpool's next 5 games are actually quite tough for them. Jeez, man.
I see 2 losses.
Yeah,
they're not gonna beat Brighton and Newcastle. Forget about it.
Yeah, I think Newcastle at St. James's Park for Liverpool will be difficult. I think they might lose then. You're right. Brighton as well. Man, some of these games, I mean, geez, what are we saying?
One thing I'm impressed with United is that we are actually beating these teams that we should be beating.
Yes.
It doesn't like playing against City and Arsenal are a different story, but the teams that we're supposed to be beating, like the Bournemouths, the Wolves, we're supposed to be beating. So we're actually beating them comfortably. So that's actually a good sign.
Yeah.
Let me quickly with some comments before we get back. Good point. So SMB says, I was watching Arsenal's Newcastle, and I'm being real. Both teams don't really look like EPL champion quality, if that makes any sense. I mean, is it that they're not EPL quality, or is it that because at the end of the day, remember?
No, actually, Arsenal played really good. It's Newcastle who just played dirty tactics. That's why.
Yeah. And to be honest, like it's about winning a league is about consistency.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to be playing great all the time, but can you consistently do something? At the end of the day, Arsenal, Newcastle didn't lose the game.
Yeah.
And that can't be said for Chelsea, Liverpool, respectively, So it's about consistency, So also Tristan B. I think teams can beat Arsenal. Well, United beat Arsenal. I bet Arsenal actually played good at Old Trafford, but United did beat Arsenal. Whether we can beat them at the Emirates is another story. Whether we can beat City is another story as well. But let's see what happens.
Which do you think is the easier game? I know both games are tough, but relatively easier.
I think because I think
which one do you think is easier?
Yeah,
I think for Man United it's Arsenal, because I don't know why, I don't know how Man United beat Arsenal somehow. It's really baffling. Even though the Man United don't play great, they still win. And against Man City, I think when are they playing Man City?
They're playing Man City on the 14th of January. So that's is that next weekend?
Yeah. I don't think there's a game this weekend.
Yes, next weekend.
I think it's gonna be a draw against Man City, because I think Pep is gonna find what the problem is, because there's something wrong with this team.
I think that what's wrong with this team is just that it's the hot. Well, we'll talk about it later. United have always had good runs, only judge in a semi-final. Yeah, exactly. That's one thing that I would say. And Kamal Cannon says, I don't understand that, but if it says Manchester United, shout out to you, bro. But this is a good point, actually. And it's that United have always had good, even under Oli, because people forget, under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, we were top of the league, or near to top of the league at this time. We didn't get backed. I think Bai had a good game. We were on top of the league. We didn't get backed in January, December. And what happened? They capitulated. I think United still finished second or third in that season. But lack of backing in January. Sorry?
I think under Oli, there was not really a winning mentality, and let's face it, Oli was more as a friend as a manager.
Yeah, no,
So
I
Yeah,
think I don't disagree with that. I just think that like United have been on these runs before, and I just think that because whatever you say about Oli did beat Arsenal at times, he did beat City at times, he did beat. Well, I don't know if they beat Liverpool at times, but you did beat. Um, um, he did beat the big teams they need to beat, the PSG, etc. So my I want to see fundamentally. Yeah, as I said, we lost 6 semi-finals. Ollie, he turned us into a Spurs. Exactly. Yeah, I want to see, like, we need United needs something tangible. And while I think that while I think my only thing with Mega, my only point with Mega though, what I would say Mega is that, in fairness, this is Ten Hag's first season, and I think if everyone at the beginning of the season went back at the beginning of this season, they would say the expectation for this team, this squad, was top four. So I think it would be a bit harsh to then reverse that and say, oh, now that we're doing really well, Ten Hag, the expectation now is that you win the league, win a trophy, etc. No, I think for me, if he gets top four, that is at least job done. But if you're competing for a title, if you're now getting a trophy at EFL and FA Cup, which is reasonable, then that's something that you can have.
RDS, they weren't even predicting us for top 4. They were predicting us for like
yeah,
top
Well,
7 or
exactly.
top 8.
After the first three games, it was like, what can these guys do?
Yeah, they said we'll be lucky if we finish top half.
So now, obviously, no one really thought that Arsenal were going to do what they were going to do. No one even put Newcastle anywhere near the top 7.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to make things interesting, So, like I said, I've been telling people all the time, like, it's now a top 7 now. And, top 4 is competitive. Now we're even talking to the fact the Europa League is going to be competitive.
Barcelona.
Getting a Europa League, getting a Europa League spot. Whatever people say about the Europa League, at the end of the day, winning the Europa League and getting a Champions League is still a better achievement, in my opinion, than finishing 4th or out of the Europa League spot. So securing,
because you get a trophy, so that's obviously better.
Exactly. It's your
a
chance.
trophy always beats the 4th place. Let's face it.
Yeah.
Exactly, and on top of that, you'll get into the first pot as well for the Champions League draw. So, if I was, I know it's not great playing on Thursday nights, but if I was, and that's something that might factor into Manchester United and Arsenal's performance, by the way, playing in when the Europa League comes back, Thursday night football might hinder things. So we need to bear that in mind.
Actually,
we'll see what happens. SMB said,
I wanted to ask
quick SMB quote, and I'll get to my point.
Sure.
It's easier to beat Arsenal for Man United and City. Arsenal has a lot of talent, but they are a bit inexperienced. It shows at times. That's a fair point. And if I recall, was Casemiro playing against Arsenal?
No.
I don't think he did. And that for me is my thing with Arsenal and City, is that I don't know how things are going to look when Casemiro plays against Arsenal and City. I think that is going to be a big difference when Casemiro comes into that side, because we just look far, especially in front of Varane and Martinez, we just look far, far, far better.
Also, Shaw wasn't playing. Shaw wasn't playing against City.
No, neither was Shaw playing. Neither was Martial. Really, so if you get like a fit Martial, Rashford, and Garnacho playing with that speed, with that pace, so Casemiro, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Anything can happen.
Hi guys, Apple says I got to sending on my cycle. We play his times really well. Right, okay, good vibes. So sending Glasgow. Abby says every game in the moment is a final for Arsenal, City, Newcastle, and Arsenal. That is true. It is interesting how almost every, certainly for City, Newcastle, United, and Arsenal, like every game is important. Like we have to win. We can't lose. There's so much at stake. That every game is important. Arsenal know that if they drop any more points, that it's going to be difficult for them. City know tomorrow that if they beat Chelsea, they're going to be 5 points clear of 5 points behind Arsenal now. If they lose, it's going to be difficult, and it potentially puts City in, because I mean, if you want to deep it, if City do lose tomorrow, they're only 6 points behind Spurs, and they have to play Spurs twice. Like,
and they're
so
just Newcastle has just a 1 point behind them and Man United also.
exactly.
So
I bet they've obviously played 2
City
more
needs
games.
that win badly. The problem is, I think Chelsea needs the win even more. So it's gonna be a hard-fought game.
It's gonna be very interesting. I'll be watching with glee.
And
But
can we talk about Chelsea? What is going on there?
Oh my God.
10.
Sebastian, relax, Sebastian. Chelsea are, personally, I still think Chelsea might finish fourth.
You know,
So relax.
one thing, RDS, I noticed, right?
One pride.
Every rival fan that's been complaining and like bitching and moaning about United spending $1 billion ever since like 2013 or 2014. Like taken sorry. Take into account how much Chelsea spent these past 3 windows. They're gonna sign Enzo Fernandes for 120 mil. They
He's
spent
not worth it.
yeah, they nearly spent 300 mil last summer. And the summer before that, what they bought like Kai Havertz, Timo Werner. Like if you see the amount of spending that they do, and they're finishing it, and they're currently in 10th. Like why I don't understand why enough criticism, like no criticism or not enough criticism is laid on Chelsea.
Yeah. But they're spending without a strategy. That's the problem.
I mean,
They're
if
just
Enzo,
picking the newest thing. It's like idiotic.
if they do get Enzo and Enzo balls, I think no one will care about the price. But you're right. I don't know what the strategy for Chelsea is. You know, a lot of people saying sack Potter now, sack Potter now. And at the end of the day, okay, you sack Potter, but who comes in?
Watch.
Like, and no, don't tell me Luis Enrique. Luis Enrique can't. I'm seeing a lot of people saying Luis Enrique isn't going to do anything with this team. He's really not.
Coming. No, these are not Luis Enrique players.
These are not Luis Enrique players.
Can I give you a great statistic? Win percentage after their first 25 games at their club. Conte 52%, Klopp 52%, Arteta 56%, Guardiola 56%, Ten Hag 72%.
Wow.
Ooh.
Wow.
Dude, RDS, just deep this. That's what I'm telling you. This guy he's bleeding. He's squeezing water out of a stone.
Yeah.
Under the Glazers.
Imagine if he was backed.
What would happen if he's backed?
Imagine if he was backed. Imagine that's the sad reality. The sad reality is that if this is what I'm saying, if we were backed in January, United could do. I've given you 2 names, just 2 names: Tillemans, Thuram, 20 mil.
Easy.
Easy. But that's not going to happen by Manchester United, unfortunately, under the Glazers. It's not going to happen. Sammy says, shout out to Sammy. No, now we need City winning, bro. We need City to win the league. Really, Sammy? No. I'm a bit tired.
I prefer Arsenal.
Yeah.
Also, let's face it, I hate Pep Guardiola.
I have receipts on some City fans as well, because I can't live in a world where Pep Guardiola buys Haaland, a striker who scores 20+ goals, only to finish second in the league and knocked out of the CL, losing to his assistant or his comb boy, as he's been called many times by City fans. That can't happen in the Premier League, because if that happens, let alone Pep's own assistant, Ten Hag, finishing ahead of, that can't happen in the first season. Because there'll be a lot of City fans and potentially Liverpool fans in the mud if that happens. So it can't happen, bro.
It's not just Haaland, it's Julian Alvarez also.
That's true. That's what I'm saying. Get the damn winning mentality back. We need that identity back. That's true. Casemiro right now for me is probably our player of the season. He is that good. I love Casemiro, man. I love him. Chelsea are playing on. They are actually, you're right. They are playing on Thursdays, so that means that they've got a while to try and somehow. Because I think Palace are playing today. I mean, geez, man. I'm not saying now Palace can't really catch 11, but I mean, if they're not careful, Chelsea, geez,
no,
it's not.
don't tell me Crystal Palace can catch Chelsea.
I mean, if they lubricate, I don't know who Crystal Palace are playing. I think they're playing Spurs, aren't they? Yeah, they're playing Spurs, which is another game to watch because obviously if Crystal Palace, oops, sorry, get the Sky result. But if Crystal Palace do, and to be honest, man, why is it so redirecting to the Sky thing? Sorry about that. To be honest, if with the way that Spurs are actually playing, I wouldn't put it past Crystal Palace to get a result against Spurs.
Yeah,
which would be great, I think, from the perspective of Manchester United, because again, more points clear. Although the next game will get against City.
Actually, RDS, I wanted to ask you a question regarding
go on.
you and Sebastian as well, regarding the Champions League. So, this is something I've kind of noticed within the past few campaigns. Like, do you think the Champions League has become quite stagnated because of the money the EPL clubs have, and in comparison to the others? I know PSG, they have a lot of money, with the Qatari owners. But outside of that, do you think it's become quite stagnated? Because even if you see the expenditure of the Premier League this summer transfer window, it's been what, £1 billion compared to the rest of the leagues, which has been 304 million pounds. So do you think the Champions League has become quite stagnated because of that?
I don't think that the Champions League has been stagnated because of the money from the Premier League per se. I mean, the Premier League teams haven't even really done that well in the Champions League last couple of seasons. And you're seeing what the Portuguese league are doing with Benfica and Porto, etc. I just think what I don't like about the Champions League currently in the form is you just get the same. When it gets to the quarterfinals, it's pretty much more or less the same teams.
It's not just that, RDS, because if you see from 2018, apart from 2020, every Champions League final has had at least one English team. So if you look at 2018, we had Liverpool. 2019, Liverpool and Spurs. 21, we had Chelsea and Man City. Last year, we had Liverpool. So that's why I kind of asked the question,
But,
I mean,
but let's face it, besides Liverpool, not an English club has won it. So they may come in the finals, but they are not really winning it. Unless I still don't count that Champions League win against Spurs because it was against Spurs. Let's face it. Anybody would have won against Spurs in the final. They're allergic to winning.
Let me quickly. Oh, what's this? Oh, City will lose. I'm telling you, against Chelsea. Abdi, that'd be interesting.
No, they won't lose to Chelsea. They'll win quite comfortably.
I don't think they'll lose, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's a draw.
No, have you seen the way Chelsea play? Have you seen that Nottingham
Forest? Yeah, I know, but it's one of those things. It's the same thing when because people forget. Remember when Liverpool played City and Liverpool on a bad run? I think this was after they lost to Forest. And it was like, oh man, City are going to banter Liverpool. They're going to batter them, etc. And Liverpool beat City in the following game. So I just think sometimes with some of these players that a lot of these players often know how to turn up against the big games. When you're playing up against United, against the Chelsea, when you know it's a big game, players know that they have to turn up and step up a little bit. When you're playing against teams that you're expected to beat, if there's complacency, there's not a clear plan or strategy, issues happen. And that's what happened when, Chelsea went to Forest recently and obviously Liverpool went to Brentford. That complacency sticks in.
Yeah, that's true.
Also, they're going to get more space because a lot of those teams are very, very don't allow Chelsea or Liverpool, for that matter, to have them space. Chelsea are going to have plenty of space at home against City because they're going to come forward. They're going to they might not have the ball as much, but they're going to have space. And so I anticipate that Graham Potter will go down the counter-attacking routes. And if they can do that, happy days,
Yeah.
Chelsea don't have a big enough fan base. That's why people don't criticize them a lot. Man United, Liverpool, Arsenal have bigger fan base. I think Chelsea have the smallest stadium in the top 6. Yeah. Chelsea, they just have annoying fans, So
but thing is, we have the shittest stadium out of the top 6. We may have the biggest, but one of the biggest. It's the worst, yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with that. Haaland is having the CR7 effect. He's taking away his own teammates' output, etc. They're not as effective. That's true. That's what I was going to say about that. I mean,
Yeah.
Great goal scorer, but what else does Haaland do?
But
Yeah. Because we
that's
saw
why
them.
he should have gone to Bayern, let's face it. Because Bayern always plays with the striker and really function better with the striker. So, but he wanted to go to Man City.
Yep. I mean, it is an interesting conundrum because you can't say when a player is always scoring goals, even though he is having that effect, you can't say, well, drop him.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
another thing, RDS, is I don't see the correlation between him starting and scoring goals to Man City conceding goals and ending up drawing games, if you know what I mean.
That is
Like
true.
there's no
That is
correlation. It's more of a coincidence than a correlation.
And it's true. I do think the midfield and the creativity might have suffered a little bit, but you do have a fair point. Haaland is not responsible for it's the same reason why I see with CR7. CR7 is not responsible for conceding X amount of goals.
Yeah,
You know, like at the end of the day, that's your midfield, that's your defense. You know,
exactly.
and at the end of the day, I've never really rated this Manchester City defense. I actually think I mean, if you look at going back to the table. Let's have a look. You know, they've actually conceded. This is goals against. They've actually conceded more goals than Arsenal have, and Newcastle have. Newcastle have only conceded 11 goals, and they played.
Yeah.
And this is gone. They played more games. They played 18 games, so more than every other top team in the league, and they've actually conceded the least amount of goals. You know, so I've never actually, you know, so.
The only decent defender in the Man City backline is Kyle Walker and maybe Akanji.
Yeah.
I never rate Ruben Diaz or Cancelo
No.
in a defensive sense, you know.
No, I don't.
No.
I don't.
Ruben Diaz is overhyped.
DMN says City are still favourites to win. SMB says the issue with Man City is when they lost Jesus and Sterling. They lost it. See, that's a fair point. That is a fair point. They lost the explosives on the wings. Pep is trying to compensate for it by being Haaland-centric team, but it's double. That is true. I have noticed that City's wing players effectively died. I don't know whether Grealish isn't it. Grealish is not a better winger than Sterling. And Mahrez, I think, is okay, but he's kind of on his last legs. I think he's not bad, but he's okay. And Foden, you know, for me, is not functions more as a second striker, maybe false number 9 scenario, support striker than a winger, really.
They should have never sold Zani because he's like balling with Bayern right now, and Pep really needed him. It looks like a bad move from Man City to sell him to us.
That's why they're looking for Leao.
We need you to lubricate PSG, Samasi.
Oh my God. I have nightmares from this game. I have nightmares. We cannot lose.
RDS, I was thinking about this last night, right? With potentially with the new owners that we get. And there's a certain Frenchman who stays at PSG who's itching. Who's itching to leave.
Relax.
Where do you think he can go?
Relax.
Funny enough, with the new ownership, that he goes to Real, or he goes to Liverpool or Man United. That's like the free.
Because Real Madrid are not buying him. I don't think Bayern will can get him.
No, we don't go for expensive players.
Relax. Bridie's going to Chelsea Football Club. That's what you need to know. He's going to Chelsea.
By the way, the only player I want from PSG is Neymar, even though he doesn't really train a lot. But I'm a big fan of him, so that's the only player who's a little bit flashy.
That's a double-edged sword.
But
most of his time
okay. Bayern hasn't had a Brazilian player in more like 2 decades. So Neymar, if you want to go out of PSG, come to Bayern.
He's gonna turn up to games drunk. That's what he does.
Filthy Flip says when better without Ronaldo fans. Yeah, of course, they definitely play better without Ronaldo. That is definitely true. But he wasn't But I won't say that the defense is because Ronaldo's not in the team or not.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, like I still think that United need a striker. We are in quote weaker without Ronaldo because we don't have a striker. Because as soon as Martial Rashford gets injured or whatever, they're in trouble. Who's going to score the goals? You know. Samasi, Liverpool beat your Bayern. Respect us. We beat you in your home ground. Yes, that UCL counts, says SFB, who is a Liverpool
Once.
fan. And SSB.
Which campaign was this?
That
Which
was
year?
in the
2019.
yeah.
Oh yeah. I remember when Mane scored the
SMB,
goal.
I love you in the chat. I love you. You're great. You know, but it's important that, and I'll just need to, and then again, I need to scroll up a little bit. What's important here for USMB, you know, is that actually, to be fair, like I wouldn't banter. People say banter Liverpool. I wouldn't actually banter if Liverpool missed out on top four because one, they won the league and UCL more recent than us. Two, they didn't really heavily spend in in the summer. And three, like, you know, it is what it is. It's just a competitive season. The only team that I won't banter that will get top four is Chelsea. Chelsea gets all the banter because of the sheer amount of money that they spent, the fact that they have run faster.
Listen,
No, they're getting the banter.
I wished Bayern just one summer spent as much as I think in 3 or 5 summers Bayern haven't spent as much as
Any Premier League
Chelsea
club.
in the last 2.
Yeah.
That's like
Because that's what I said.
unbelievable.
These guys.
Bayern could because we have a lot of TV and marketing revenue, but we don't really do it.
That's what I'm saying. These guys spend so much, and it's not showing on the pitch. You know, the one UCL that Chelsea fans hold on to for dear life. It was more of a managerial masterclass, you know, rather than the playing squad that they have. Other than that, when was the last time they won the Premier League? 2017.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, no, that's true. It's true. It's true.
yeah, you're
Haaland,
really getting bread and butter. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
Mega says Haaland can't drop into the midfield like a falls. That is true. Alibeg says, great side in the reign of the team always. So a great side and reign of the team always have a solid defense because of great. That is true. That is true, and I think that's why I think for me, Newcastle United and Arsenal have been so dangerous this season because if you look at their back line, you know, okay, United they do. In fairness, okay, yes, United have conceded 20 goals, but if you think about it, if you deep it, most of those goals. So when you
From the 3 games.
3 games, so 6 against City, 4 against Brentford, and then was it 3 against Brighton?
3 against Villa, 2 against Brighton.
2 against Brighton. So even if you include the Villa 3, well, let's say include that. The first 3 games, you conceded
12.
That's 12 goals. So take those 12 goals off the 20, and that's 8 goals. So since the first 3 games of the season, United have only conceded 8 goals in the league.
Wow.
Which is insane if you think about it. And
Casemiro makes such a difference. That's why if you want to win, you need a DM. Look at Chelsea with and without Kante, and healthy Kante. It looks so different.
The whole team suffers. Pep hates tradition number 9. Ibra Manzukic. That is true. He does. That definitely works. Vidic and Mio gave us a beautiful time when Chelsea had their reign. Terry and Carvalho, Arsenal last time on top. Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. And I think that's why, because I got into an argument with a few people about Newcastle, etc., and they're going to be relevant, etc. But the point of the matter is that Newcastle are where they are because they have a solid defensive partnership right now. They're not conceding goals.
Yeah.
You know, Arsenal where they are because they're not conceding tons of goals. United are conceding because they're not conceding goals. The reality is that if you're going to get top 4, if you're going to stay in the Premier League, if you're going to have any league campaign, even if it comes to tournaments, you got to sort your defense first. And when I look at the likes of Chelsea, when I look at probably even Liverpool, actually, you know, you're like, these guys can concede 3 goals against mid-table teams.
What happened to Van Dijk? What happened to him?
I'm not sure.
I think another important reason for that is they have a solid DM. You know, like if you look at all these clubs, like Newcastle, they got Guimaraes. For Arsenal, they got Partey. Like these guys help to screen that back.
You don't rate Rodri, Pride?
I don't know.
Thomas Partey, unbelievable.
Yeah.
And what about Fabinho at Liverpool?
No. I used to.
Fabinho's legs are gone. They are
he's
gone.
He's finished.
He is washed, which is sad because he's Brazilian.
Yeah.
And I'm
How
fairly
old
sure
is he?
I think he's 28. He's definitely younger than
No.
Casemiro.
No.
Which I don't really understand, because it's like, how is Casemiro playing better than you and than Fabinho? It's like he's done the early Brazilian thing where he retires, goes on holiday for some salsa and stuff, DMN says, RDS, are you still on loan to Real Madrid? Well, see, this is the thing. It's a January transfer window.
RDS, you have to stay at Real Madrid. It's very right now for Man United.
The deal is working.
Because the thing is, this is the January transfer window, so contracts are being negotiated. So I come back in January, and then we have negotiations. So I think that when the January transfer window is over, depending on what happens, you might see me back at Real Madrid. You might, because I think that the loan spell, me being away from United, has actually helped United become a better team. So we'll just see what happens with that.
Actually, you know what, RDS, we've been clowning a certain Swiss player at Chelsea, right? That I think his name is called Zach.
Who?
Where is he?
Zach from Chelsea.
I don't know who you're. I don't know who you're. You need to be more specific, Pride. Who's
Zakaria.
Is it okay? What's his position?
DM.
What does he do?
He plays a midfielder.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
I don't know about this. Does he play for Chelsea Football Club?
Yes, the Zach.
Oh, okay, yeah. Sorry. See, it's just come back to me. It's just because he's not really been around for most of the season, so I have to kind of like refresh my memory to see. Okay,
I think we need to send another search party for a certain Brazilian man at Liverpool. He's on loan from Juventus, and his name, the last time I saw him, his name I believe was Arthur.
Arthur. Oh yeah.
Oh my God, I forgot about him.
But he's injured, isn't he? I thought that was the thing.
He's not injured. He's not injured.
Oh,
I forgot about him. Liverpool, what are you doing?
He's not injured.
By the way, can I say something? Buying Gakpo and not buying midfielder doesn't make any sense. Just saying.
I don't, there are a few players. Even Fofana, but I think Fofana's injured as well for Chelsea. I'm like,
Fofana's injured, yeah.
Where's he gone? But I genuinely thought Arthur was injured. I'm not sure. I'm not sure where he's gone. I'm surprised.
We clown Man United and the board because they make horrible transfers. But let's face it, Chelsea do the same, and Liverpool have also questionable transfers. So,
You think Chelsea has
I'm thankful for Bayern because most players we buy are actually good.
Yeah, that's true. Bayern buy really well.
That's true.
But I wanted to ask you this regarding Chelsea. Like, you see Chelsea buying all these youngsters, right? Do you think they actually have a vision or like a plan or like a strategy for buying these players, or are they just kind of like freestyling?
Sorry, I'll answer in a second. We're actually gonna do some just to sort of, as we begin to round things up, we'll do some previews for the upcoming Premier League games for the remainder of the game week. And I'll see your thoughts. There's a lot of big games coming up, so I'll put that on in a second. But in answer to your question, Pride, I don't know, if I'm honest. Like, for example, a lot of Chelsea fans are hyping this Enzo deal. Fair enough. But in my mind, I'm like, are you buying Enzo because are you buying Enzo because like Potter's gone to the board and like, I want Enzo? Like, it doesn't feel like something that Potter would do.
Yeah, your question is whether it's a Potter signing or is it World Cup hype?
That's what I'm saying. I just don't know. I feel like it just goes against the grain for Graham Potter to be like, I want you to go and get Enzo Fernandes for 120, unless the board have come to him and been like, listen, we'll get any player you want, any dream player you want, we'll go and get it. That's the only thing I think of. Unless they're like, you're our guy, we will give you anything you want to succeed.
Yeah.
Or, and in my opinion, more likely, is that this is similar to what happened under Abramovich, whereby the players were more like marketing signings. You got players like, right, we'll buy this player. He's got hype. Like Havertz got hype. Like Werner got hype. Lukaku got hype. All these people got hype. And now you just have to figure out how to use them. And if that's the case, I'd be more concerned about Chelsea Football Club if that's the case, because then it's like, in this era now, you can't run a football club like that. You can't run a football club like that because at the end of the day, the most successful football clubs right now are going to be football clubs that are built on stability, and direction and progress. And this whole chopping and this whole chopping and changing of managers isn't going to really help. But sorry, go on, Samasi, go on.
And you need football people in football positions. You don't need bankers and lawyers on your board to make footballing decisions. That's the problem United have. Like, what does Ed Woodward know? Nothing.
Well, he's gone. He's gone now. He's sacked. He's now Merton now, thank goodness. But you're right. Football's the football decisions. We're going to just do some match previews, and then we're going to sort of round up a bit. Thank you guys so much for watching, guys. Thanks for the subs. Make sure you subscribe to Red Devil Studio. We'll obviously go live with our match reactions. We'll be doing a watch long on Twitch, so I pinned it. Make sure you follow me on Twitch. We'll be doing watch longs on there, possibly on this YouTube channel. I'm not decided yet, but make sure you head over there and follow and subscribe. It makes a big difference. But so I think United's next game is against Everton, I think, this weekend in the FA Cup. So that will be good. I expect 3 points. Well, not 3 points. I expect us to beat Everton with where they are in the FA Cup. Easy dub. Shouldn't be a problem. And same thing for Charlton next week, but we'll see. Abeg says, Liverpool, Ali Bag says, Liverpool completely lack creativity. Mane was so underrated. He was probably top 5 best players in the world when they were destructive, but Salah got the limelight. That's a fair point. It's a fair point. I don't think he's the sole reason, but it is a fair point, especially now that, because I will confess, Liverpool are missing likes of Luis Diaz, Jota, etc. to really give them something. They are creative. They need that. But Mane, who rarely got injured, is a big miss. And it is far too much for Enzo, but it is what it is. Right. So let me quickly get into, so if I quickly go, how can we do that? I'll do this. I'll search this way.
You can just click on Premier League. Yeah, there. No, on the
yes, I've got it. You're right. Cool. Right. Okay. So I think we'll just really focus maybe on the key games. So obviously, because Aston Villa, Leeds, West Ham, Southampton, but let's focus on more on the key games. So I think the first game is this one. If we're looking at the top 7, Palace at home to Spurs. I think this is a big game for Spurs when it comes to the top 4. Kante has already come out and is starting running his mouth about not being enough, the ambition for Spurs, etc., etc., etc. So he's already doing what I knew he was going to do, and that's why. And Brian, let me land here. Let me land here for a second. There were so many, because of the Oli anger. There were so many United fans that were like, "Get Kante in, get Kante in, get Kante in." And I was one of them that said, "No, no, 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 no." I know people are emotional right now, but on no account should Kante, because he'll make the situation worse. He will. He'll fight with the board. He'll fight with the players. He's basically a Jose 2.0. I'll bet with a bit more hype. I actually think he's actually overrated. If you look at what happened in Syria, he needed money. Loads of money to basically win Serie A for Inter, and he didn't even get through the Champions League group. Inter were still able to do bits without him, qualifying for the Champions League group with Inzaghi, and they're playing much better football. And shout out to Juventus as well, by the way. But yeah, he's overhyped. He really, really is.
He's overhyped now. He used to be good before, but now he's just
He literally
And
has.
he's a B-Tech Jose Mourinho, let's
Yeah.
face it.
Yeah.
He's literally reverted to I need money to be able to do things with do things with players. The
I
reality
don't know
is,
if you guys watch Expressions, but
yeah,
always
I
cracks me
do.
up.
Oh
Yeah,
my god.
yeah, expressions.
It's the best.
Yeah,
It's the
expressions,
best.
man. I know it's sad expressions. And the reality is that like they play AC Milan in the Champions League, and I actually think that they might lose to AC Milan. I genuinely think that they might actually lose. I
Yeah.
didn't think so, you know. So we'll see what happens. But regarding this game, and then we obviously know the comments of those who are watching. Obviously, thanks to those who are still watching. What do you think? What do you think will be the result here? Because I don't know. There's something that tells me here that Palace may actually win. At home, with the atmosphere, it's kind of like an in-quote London derby. Palace look like. I mean, I'll look at their Palace's recent form. You know, they're safe mid-table. I don't think Palace. I mean, you know, I don't think Palace are going to get relegated anytime soon. You can make an argument their form has actually been better than Spurs. I mean, look, last 5 games, 3 wins, 2 draws, as opposed to Spurs, 2 wins, 2 losses, and a draw.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a difficult one. I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think Palace can do this, or do you think Spurs? You know, this is Kante. He should get something from this game.
People always say that Crystal Palace is like one of the toughest places to go to because of the atmosphere. These guys, like their fans are like so loud and so raucous that it's just so hard to go there as an away team, you know. So, and as you said, it's on or like quote unquote a London derby. So, I think for me, I'm gonna predict a draw because it's still Spurs, but I wouldn't be surprised if Crystal Palace win. You know.
I have also draw 2-2. I think it's gonna be but it's gonna be close because Tottenham are truly horrible. Fossil football. Like expression always said, it's it's cancer for the eyes. It's just terrible to watch.
Cancer for the eyes.
Dinosaur football, man.
It's bad. It is bad. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. Right. Let's quickly move. Let's move on to the other game tomorrow. What have I done again? What's happened? Pick the Premier League. Oh, there we go. Okay. Actually, it's not tomorrow. Actually, it's actually on Thursday. Chelsea, because it Leeds and West Ham and Aston Villa and Wolves are going to play, which aren't really games that are particularly.
Oh my god! I just watched this clip on. I don't know if you follow the Rio Ferdinand's 5.
Yes.
Yeah. So I saw this guy, this Arsenal fan, saying that Thomas Partey is better than Casemiro for some reason.
I'm seeing a lot of Arsenal fans say that. I am. And
it's ridiculous. How do you compare a 5 times Champions League winner to this?
It's what Arsenal fans do, and this is the problem they say, and I think that's why United fans need to move in silence. I think, especially when we come to the Emirates, you know, because I want to hear more Arsenal fans saying Partey's better, Partey's the GOAT, all the rest.
Yeah,
of it.
artists, we're just gonna let them say everything, and once they lose, then we're gonna clip everything.
Yeah, move in silence. Just say, you are title favorites. You're the favorites there for a reason. We move in silence. We move in silence because at the end of the day,
he said what?
Sorry, who? What's
he said what? I didn't understand it.
Partey is better. Partey is better than Casemiro.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Let's Pep Guardiola with Bayern, Ribery and Brogan couldn't beat Real Madrid because of Casemiro. So let's face it, he's the completest midfielder I've seen.
Yeah.
So
the other reality is that, like, I mean, to be honest, I'm looking at these top 7 right now, and Arsenal, they haven't played City yet. Twice, it's coming. They again beat Newcastle. They lost to United. Okay, they beat Spurs. They did beat Liverpool. Did they beat Fulham?
Yeah,
I have a feeling they might have. Yeah. So
the only teams they didn't beat is Newcastle, United, and Southampton. Ironically.
Yeah. Yeah, they Southampton for some reason. I know they're doing badly. But
They're
for some
they're
reason,
they're 20th. They're 20th.
exactly, they're the worst. But for some reason, anytime you go to Southampton's home, they always seem to be difficult. I don't know why that is. So, but yeah, I always say they're always a bit bogey, even if they are 20th. But yeah, so my point is, but based on that, is that like, yeah, he's not wrong about how good Partey has been. Partey has been good, but
Yeah.
there's still room for Arsenal to lose. You know, they've not played City twice. They've now got to go to St James's Park and get a result because Newcastle goes over the Emirates. We'll see what happens at the Emirates against Manchester United. They've got to now go away to Spurs to get a result. They did beat Spurs, but away to Spurs is difficult. They have to go away to Anfield to get a result. I don't know about Fulham. So
they have to go away.
They've got to go away.
Yeah.
They did have a good performance against Brighton away, so I'll give them that. I'm not really going. I mean, Chelsea are irrelevant at this point. Let's keep it a stack, you know. So they're not really a factor. So you don't know, you know. But let me quickly go back to the preview, and I think that it'd be interesting to see what your thoughts are, guys, on this. Chelsea versus Manchester City, guys. Chelsea versus Manchester City.
It's gonna be a bloodbath. It's gonna be a bloodbath.
Are you sure, Samasi? You sure?
Yes, Chelsea is gonna be worse than 4-2 against Arsenal. It's gonna be 5-0, 5-0, 4-0.
See, every time we say this, the opposite ends up happening.
Yes. Yes.
Really?
Yeah, that's what because again, it's the same thing that I said about how everyone was like, oh yeah, because literally Liverpool, I remember Liverpool had just lost to Nottingham Forest and they were playing City next, and people were like, City gonna spank these guys, it's over, they're being a run, etc. And I was like, okay, let's see what happens. And then they beat them.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't write off Chelsea just yet because I think there's the thing with players, and United do this a lot, where when they play a top team, they raise their game because they, especially when they're at home, because they know the fans are there, they know what they have to do, and quite frankly, Chelsea needs to win this game if they want to have any chance of getting top four. Like this is a must-win for Chelsea FC because if they don't win it, they are 10 points behind United in fourth. It's over, in my opinion. It's over because Chelsea still have to play Liverpool. They've still got to play United away. They've still got to play Arsenal. They have to host Newcastle at home, who obviously got a defensive record. They're going to drop more points. Yeah, there's no doubt, and that's against the teams in the top 7, let alone the teams in that are mid-table and below. You know, so
teams like Fulham, Crystal Palace.
Exactly. You know, I mean, in fact, let me just quickly see Chelsea's next fixtures. I think it'll be, where was it again? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Chelsea's next fixtures here. So okay, yeah, so they've got City back to back in the FA Cup. This is probably Chelsea's last chance of getting a trophy this season, unless they somehow win the CL. Then they have Fulham. So they've got City at home. They've got Fulham. They've got Crystal Palace, who on a normal day they should beat, but you don't know. Then they have Liverpool away. They have Fulham at home. West Ham, who are bad, so they probably will beat West Ham regardless. But already, I'm like, these next 5 games,
tough games.
These are tough games, you know. Yeah. I mean,
can they beat Fulham? Can they beat
Fulham away?
Fulham away is a hard game because we played Fulham away and they were really tough.
Yes.
You know?
They have.
Wait. Sebastian Pride. So you're telling me that potentially in these next 5 games, right, Chelsea might only win 1 out of these 5.
Probably 2. I can see them winning against Palace and Fulham at home.
They could.
So they could. So 6 points from 15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where would that leave Chelsea FC in the table?
Thing is, even if they even if they played the 6 games and we still didn't play any of ours,
Yeah,
they would still be behind us. It's that
yeah.
bad.
It's
They're not
actually.
making top 4.
I'm looking
If
at
they
this and
make
thinking,
top 4, it's gonna be a miracle.
I'll
It's
be shocked if they do
because
because it's
it's
so
because
competitive.
Man United and Newcastle bottle it.
hmm.
Then they'll come top 4.
And
That's
also,
it.
Liverpool are ahead of them.
Yeah.
And
If I'm honest,
Liverpool.
I can't actually see them winning any of these 4
Thing
games.
is, yeah, like RDS thing is, like we as United fans, we know we have a tendency to bottle these situations, right?
Yeah.
So, like, even if you take into account or like assume that we're gonna bottle it and we're gonna come out of the top 4, you still have Liverpool that could potentially finish ahead of Chelsea, and you still have Newcastle.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
I find it really hard for Chelsea, you know.
Exactly. I mean, I still think Chelsea will get a result here. I actually predict a draw 1-1 because I think they will get a result here. And I think that's the thing. I actually think out of the games that I showed, I think actually Chelsea will get a result here, but I actually think that against Fulham and Palace that they might not get the result.
Oh, really? I think the opposite. I think Man City going to win 2-0.
I think the problem is that, like, I don't know where Chelsea's goals are coming from. Where are their goals coming from? Like that, like it's not that they can't score goals. Even that goal against Nottingham Forest the other day, it was kind of a fluke. Let's keep it that. It was a fluke, you know. So I don't know where their goals are coming from. And Fulham, I know where their goals can come from.
Yeah.
It's, you know, even Crystal Palace, I know where their goals can come from. I don't know where the goals are coming from Chelsea. So
there's a certain Gabonese striker who's still playing for Chelsea.
Who?
Gabonese striker.
Yeah, what's his name? What's his name, Pride? I don't know.
Obama who?
Obama what?
Obama clapping, man.
It's interesting. You know, it's very interesting. I mean,
I can't believe it's for Chelsea.
I think it's actually funny that you have a situation where, and it just shows you, life hacks at you fast, where Aubameyang was seen as Arsenal's best player, best striker, etc. He has a fight, leaves to Barcelona, flops at Barca, but Barca still able to get money from him, and he comes to Chelsea and is basically stealing a wage. He's essentially. I don't know what the contract deal is for him there. Is it 2 or 3 years? I don't know. But he's stealing a living and Chelsea still have Lukaku.
Cannot score. He's in. Who's worse? Kai Havertz, Aubameyang, or Lukaku?
Oh,
it's like
it's like choosing between horse shit and dog shit, you know.
I actually think Lukaku can actually be. I actually think Lukaku can be good if he plays. The difference between those was, I think Lukaku can be good if he has a support striker next to him.
Did you see him against Croatia?
Yeah, I know. But the thing is,
four chances. The dude bricked it.
True.
You would have scored it. You would have scored those.
True, but in fairness, he was coming back from injury. He got and in fairness, yes, he didn't score, but before then, were Belgium even close to creating any chances?
RDS, but still, you're a professional striker.
Yeah,
it's your job. It's your job, you know.
I know.
Like you've seen players with far worse injuries coming back from them and still scoring.
That is true. I know. But the thing with Lukaku, right, is that like I have seen and maybe it's because at Inter when he was fit, he was actually balling. But that's because he has like Lautaro Martinez or someone supporting next to him. So I'm like, okay, I can see that you can do something good when you have this situation next to you. The reality is that Belgium at Chelsea and even at United, I don't think he was even that bad at Manchester United, to be honest. I just think we couldn't create. You know, he didn't have that system, that support striker. Like he needs that because he needs to be in the box. You know, so for me, if
Lukaku can still hold up the ball.
It's like I was saying to HH, I was like, if you brought João Felix into the team with Lukaku, I think that could work.
Yeah.
You play Joao Felix in that role, and you play a couple. I think that could actually work for Chelsea if they were to do that. But if you do what you're doing now, which is getting signed defenders and Enzo and stuff like that, and you expect Lukaku to come in, no, it's not going to work, you know.
Yeah.
But ultimately, going back to this game, sorry, let me just quickly read some comments that SMB's in the chat. What is it? Is it Kante? Sorry, I'll go back to Ali. Ali says, we're talking about Kante or Pep need money to do something. That's true. Think when the Bayern spend. Estimates a Conte talent ID to me is suspect. The players he wants and buys are very short term, quick fix. You can never build Conte like how Teta did. Also, I'm not sure if he can develop a young player. That is true.
Yeah.
I don't know any single young player that Conte's developed recently, actually, or any academy players brought into the Spurs team. Conte wouldn't know what to do if you gave him Felix, even Jude Bellingham. I agree. Arsenal have to travel to Anfield. And they have been historically bad there. Yes, that is true. That is true. This is the thing. Arsenal are going to drop more points. They are. And that's why this title race is interesting. I don't want City to win it for obvious reasons, but it's going to be an interesting race. It really is. And I think that this week, like I said, we will see. It's like I said, if for example, if City beat Chelsea and beat United, then it's like, it's probably game over. They know what they're doing. But I don't know this City team. They're still quite unpredictable as well. 2-1 to City, says DMN. So we were talking about a party that got outplayed in the AFCON against Comoros and then took a private flight to London only to get yes, I remember that. That was brilliant, man. That was brilliant. Hashtag party, man. That was brilliant.
Oh my God.
Got bantered by Comoros. Ghana got knocked out only to fly to London and get sent off within the first few minutes he came on. That was banter.
Marius, you know the ironic thing about that? If you remove Partey and put Neymar in place of him, it there wouldn't be any difference, you know.
No, that is true. That is true. I do not disagree with that. What is most concerning about Chelsea is the goals. They don't exactly. That's literally what I've been saying. SMB. They don't score enough, and that's not something you can fix as a team in a couple of games. Exactly.
Yeah.
Because the thing is that at the very least, if you don't score, don't concede. But the reality is that they are conceding. Not loads of goals, but they're still conceding. But they're not scoring. And if I look at the table, if we go back, how many goals have Chelsea actually scored this? Let's have a look. Yeah, I think they've scored. Is that 18? 18 goals.
Jesus, that's bad.
No, wait, hold up. Yeah. No, 20 goals. 20 goals. They've conceded 18 goals. Sorry, there's 20 goals. Okay. So 20 goals, but that's still looking at all the other teams above, like Arsenal 40, 44, 30, United 27. Obviously, they're still low, but they start to score now. Literally, even Leicester. Look at it. Even Leicester City and Leeds have scored more goals than Chelsea.
Yeah, that's bad.
If you think about it, they should probably be in the bottom half of the table. They've not. So that's what I'm saying. 20 to 18. So they're conceding just as much, or almost as much as they are scoring goals, which obviously is not helpful. It's not at all. It's really not. What was the 2 seconds? I'm switching between. This might be controversial, but Chelsea would have been better off with Timo. He might not be that clinical, but he adds more to the team than he takes away. But Chelsea fans, I don't disagree with that. Sorry, this message just gone. I don't actually disagree with this at all.
It's like the Darwin Núñez conundrum.
The thing is that I always thought that Timo Werner was better off the left, was a support striker for Chelsea.
Yeah.
And we saw that at times last season, especially in the Champions League. If you're going to allow him to be the main number 9, it's not going to work. And I think that because Werner used to do bits when he played against Cities, etc., when he had Kai Havertz playing the number 9, I think if that was the case, you never know.
I think that players like Havertz and Timo Werner have been horribly misused, Like if you think about where they used to play when they were at Leverkusen and Bayern and Leipzig.
Yeah.
Leipzig was it? Yeah. Like they've just been horribly misused. Like Havertz is not a number 9. He cannot play with his back to goal, but that's where Chelsea use them. So that's they've been horribly misused.
No, but I agree. I don't disagree with that. Oba is the worst as influence. So Timo, as we said, Timo will get in a position to score, and his pace gives the defender something to think about. Exactly. Lukaku should have never gone to Chelsea. It was bad from the start. He's not bad to me. Obama equals garbage. I don't disagree. Although, like I said, I think that Timo and Lukaku could have worked well together. I think that obviously he fell out with Poch. Sorry, with Tuchel. That didn't work at all. So that didn't help. I don't know. At the end of the day. HSB. Hello, everyone. Shout out to Dale, MGM Studio. Thank you for joining, Dale. Hello, everyone. You know, at the time, everyone roasted Belgium, but was it that bad? Both the teams that made it out of the group made it to the semis. Yeah, it was bad.
That was bad. Yeah,
it was bad, Dale. I'm sorry. I have to vote, because when your captain at the beginning of the tournament says we think we're too old and we can't do anything, that's nothing. Also, what was the excuse against Canada? Because yes, you won 1-0, but if Davies had scored that penalty, would Belgium really have done anything?
It would be a whole different story.
And also the players, man, come on, the players that Belgium have, right? No, come on. I'm sorry, there. I can't. I can give you because your next comment is I'll defend Lukaku for Croatia. I'll say it because he was injured, but I can't defend.
I'm not still giving that because the chances were so glaringly obvious. It's not like it's a 30-yard screamer. It's like you're right there.
But I blame. But the thing is that at the end of the day, like they lost it. You shouldn't. For me, if you're a big team like Belgium, you shouldn't have relied on the last game to get through.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You could have stat padded against Canada, and you lost against Morocco. So you lost against Morocco for some reason, and you could have stat padded. You didn't do either. And Croatia, you had, because I think Lukaku. You're right, Lukaku had chances, but Lukaku came on at like 70 minutes, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I think. So 20 minutes to score, come on. Like for 2 games and a bit, what did Belgium do? Nothing. And that's disappointing.
They could have easily qualified because they won against Canada, and you just
exactly
won.
And they bottled it. So let me quickly finish with these match previews, and then we will bounce here. Obviously, I think that's the end of match day. I think that's the end of match day 19. I think Thursday Chelsea have and the following week Chelsea have Fulham to play, which you've kind of already discussed, where that's going to be a difficult game. In fact, let's actually quickly go. I think what will end, because I think that's the following match games. So let's just quickly look at Manchester United's next fixtures, and then we'll call it a day. That's when they face Bournemouth again, which would be great. I think that's last game of the season. It'll be against Bournemouth.
No, last game.
Happy days. Is it Fulham?
Yeah, Fulham at home.
Okay, close to it then. Right. Okay. So let's just have a look at Manchester United's next 5 games. Okay.
Are we counting the EFL Cups and FA
Yeah. We'll have work more. So, FA Cup game against Everton, which is obviously this Friday. Because and that's probably why the rotations were needed. Because Tuesday and then 3 days later, you've got an FA Cup game against and then you've got a quarterfinal against Charlton. What are you saying, Pride?
For this one, we should win because Everton, they're not that great. So, I even saw the game against Brighton. They're not that great, especially with Lampard. So, they should be. I'm not gonna say easy dub because Everton still drew against City. But if we do our business, we should beat them comfortably.
What's this? Ronaldo over Manchester United. No, it doesn't really work like that. And then Ilias, I don't know whether these are Manchester. I don't know if these are trolls. I don't know, but I don't know what you guys are doing. Ronaldo is, I don't think so, bro. And then you start speaking German. I don't get it. So unfortunately, this is an English channel. well, as in we speak English here, but it's open to everybody here. So, yeah, the Ronaldo thingy hype, it just is what it is.
Oh, Artis, I wanted to ask you this. So, are you still active on your second channel? Like,
Red Marvel.
Yes,
Red Marvel. I'm trying to. I need to. I'm probably this week. I might try and record some videos. I've just been quite a bit lazy recently and been busy with work. So,
yeah. So, do you have a channel where you record like, talking about like movies and TV shows and stuff?
Yes. So that's Red Marvel. For those who actually want, make sure you subscribe down below. I've not posted anything in like 2 months, which is kind of bad, but I should start to get back into actually. Because speaking of which, I'm probably going to go and watch Avatar tomorrow for that reason. So yeah, subscribe to Red Marvel below. I've not updated in a while, but please get into it. What's this? I'll say, wow, so apparently Chelsea trying to hijack the Mudrak deal from Arsenal. But this is what I'm saying. I don't understand that though. Like, why?
See, that's why I asked the question earlier. Is it like, do they have a strategy, or are they like just seeing what others are doing and just trying to hijack the deal?
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make sense. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't know what this team is doing. I really don't know what they're doing. I don't know what Chelsea are doing. Samasi says, sorry, my internet is a break. No, 3-1 United versus Everton needs to win. Yeah, that's fair enough. Oh, by the way, guys, if you want exclusive content, if you want to support the channel, maybe become a member of this channel. I'm going to try and bring the member hangouts back, member exclusive videos. So to support your boy Old Man G, to get some new tech and to make this channel better, because I'm hoping to go to, it's a big aim, but let's try and get to 5K subscribers by the end of the year. That'd be a really big aim for me. So let's try and get there. So support your man G. It'll be great. Chelsea's transfer in this policy. So you're saying, what's your score prediction for Everton, Pride?
I'm gonna go with 2-0 or 2-1.
2-1. Okay. United against Charlton, again, another game at home. We've got like we had 4 home games, back to back, so I think I'd like to see, because Charlton, I think, are the only League One side left.
Are they League One? I think the Championship.
No, I think they're League One, Charlton. I'm fairly sure they're League One.
Let me have a look.
Charlton. Yeah, they're League One. So you see Oxford United, Peterborough. Yeah.
I would be surprised. I'll be surprised if we don't win against them.
Yeah. I don't want to jinx it, but we should beat Charlton. And to be honest, I think that there should be a rest for certain players. Personally, one player I
want to see is Sedan Iqbal.
Yeah, I'd like to see Iqbal. I know he'll go strong, but I think I think some change is necessary. I think you can allow, I mean, to be honest, you can make an argument. You can make changes against Everton because Everton have been garbage. so you could make it if they're getting pimp slapped 4-1 by Brighton at home. You could make a case that we could make a lot of changes against these two teams. Especially because
I don't mind conceding the FA Cup, because
I don't mind either, and also I think that as you said, it's not. I like a trophy this season. And Everton would be an easy win, but yeah, I think it would be a big mistake to go really strong against. I actually think that you give a chance for Garnacho to start properly. He starts against Everton, he starts against Charlton.
Maybe it might be a good game to introduce Sancho back in.
I don't know what's going on with Sancho. It sounds like it's a bit more serious than what we let on.
Yeah,
because you're right. I would do that, but I don't know what's. Honestly, I also don't know what's going on with Sancho. I don't. Something's going on. I don't know.
He's back in Carrington, so it's not going to be long before he's.
But he's not training. He's not training with the first team though. He's on separate regime.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would agree with you, but I don't know. I think obviously maybe you bring in Anthony because Anthony's not really played a lot. So I think you could probably, if I was starting these games, I'd probably start Anthony and Garnacho. And maybe play Garnacho as what I would do is, I'd actually rest Rashford and Martial.
Yeah.
And actually start Elanga on the left, play Garnacho as a 9, and then play Anthony on the right, and then see what you do from there. Maybe you can bring in Iqbal, like I said, give McTominay some game time. and so on. You know, so there are changes that we can make. I think definitely against Charleston. I think it'd be good to see some more young players. You know, I think Garnacho, give him a good 90 minutes and give.
But still, RDS, it's a quarterfinal though.
Like, but you'd expect still have them on the bench, but you'd expect United at home to beat Charlton.
But you remember last season we lost to Middlesbrough?
That's true, but they were in the Championship and it was also on penalties.
Yeah.
So, like, I expect, and also we didn't have Casemiro as well. Although I don't know whether Casemiro plays against Charlton. I don't know. Maybe you go back to McFred. I don't know. I'm not sure about that because I want Casemiro to get a break as well. That's for me, okay, play Casemiro against Everton, but I think don't play Casemiro against Charlton.
Yeah, I'll go back to McFred.
You know, I'm not saying Charlton we should disrespect them, but you like to think that we should have enough to beat Charlton at home.
It's a League One team.
It's a League One team. You're at home, and you know,
my God, if we lose that game, it's going to be so embarrassing.
It's going to be embarrassing. They have to. They can't.
Yeah.
You know, but still keep the attacking option on the bench when you need them, but you can't. You can't lose. You know. 3-0 versus Charlton, says Sebastian. Prince Kelvin says, I'm really happy managing good performance. I am too, buddy. And make sure you subscribe to this channel. So almost. So that's 2. Okay. At home to City, what do you think?
This is hard. Because I think I know City are going to score because of Haaland. I know they're going to score. Ooh. I'm going to say 3-2 to United. 3-2.
3-2.
Because I don't think City's defense are that great. And I think I think Rashford and Garnacho, if he's there, or maybe Anthony, they can do bits, you know, plus Monreal.
Dodger Ruff says, don't worry about giving Cassie a break. He is a workhorse. He didn't get many breaks from him too. That is true. But what I would say, though, is that, like, the Premier League, I'm not saying the Premier League is a different animal to Liga, but it's a lot more physical. And on top of that, the amount of games we're playing every other game. I mean, if you look at the schedule, like we played, let's have a look. Okay, so 31st of December was against Wolves. Sorry, no, let's even go further back. 27th of December at Nottingham Forest. 4 days later, Wolves. Then effectively 4 days later, Bournemouth. Not even a week. Then 3 days later, Everton. Then 4 days later, Charlton. Then 4 days later, City. Then, 6 days, I think, later, 7 you've got Arsenal. So you're playing a game almost every 4 days. And that's going to continue, to a certain extent in February as well. So especially when the Europa League comes back. So, yeah, I'm only saying give Casemiro a break because, like, he is so essential to this team. He's so essential to this team.
It isn't just that, RDS, not just Casemiro, but keep in mind Eriksen. Eriksen is not someone who can play all these games back to back.
Yeah. If I'm honest, against Everton, against Charlton, I expect. Well, I want them to rest. Like, for me, if I was for Everton, I would play Casemiro, Fred, and Bruno. I'd rest Eriksen for that game. I think Fred, or you can play McTominay, either or. I think that's good enough. McTominay and Eriksen. McTominay and Casemiro, McTominay or Fred is fine. Yeah. Should be good enough. So you rest Eriksen against Everton, and then against Charlton, you can rest. You can still rest Eriksen, and maybe bring in, as you said, Zidane Iqbal can come into that midfield, for example, and do something. I would have said Van der Beek, but Van der Beek has obviously gone injured, so we're already short in midfield. So you're gonna have to. You can't play that free midfield. You've got to bring in McTominay and Fred and Someface, and ideally use youth.
Yeah.
2-2 against City, says Samasi. AD, can I join? I would. Generally, I would, but just we're rounding up soon, so it's not. We're probably going to finish in the next 5 minutes or so. So, but I will. When was my next preview? Actually, it'll be Friday. Yeah, it'll be. I don't really like to tend to do games, previews for cup games. So I'm perfectly honest. watch-alongs and match reactions. So probably have a match reaction on Friday night, I think. Plus or minus, we'll see what happens after the City-Chelsea game. I might actually go live and do a reaction to the City-Chelsea game if it's that bad, but we'll see what happens. So, but for those who are watching, make sure you subscribe to AD's channel. He's just gone to 1K subscribers, man. So head over, always big up other YouTubers. So please head over and subscribe to AD's channel, man, and support him. He does a lot of really good content to support his channel, man. So you said that, okay, so Arsenal versus United. Arsenal obviously away to United. What do you think?
Ooh, this is tough. Because I think the Arsenal game is much harder than the City game. Yeah. Just because we are away from home and Arsenal have a good, like they haven't lost at the Emirates, you know. So I think that game is going to be tougher. I'd never predict United loss. So I'm going to say 2-2 draw.
Okay, 2-2 draw. Okay. Make sure you subscribe, guys. If you're new, make sure to subscribe. If you're new, it goes a long way. And finally, Manchester United at home. So really, we only have out of the 5 games, United at home. The only away game is actually at Arsenal. We're back at home against Crystal Palace, which is the final 5th game. We'll talk about Leeds at some other point, but yeah, against Palace, like what do you think?
This should be. I'm not gonna say comfortable because Crystal Palace are a good team, but I would expect us to win because we're at home. But the thing is, the last 3-4 times we played Palace at home, we've never won. So I want to say, I'm going to say 2-0.
2-0.
2-1.
And Tomasi says 2-1. Yes. Okay. Right, guys. Whew, it's been an hour and 47 minutes, almost 2 hours stream, but I've got to bounce. Thank you, Pride, and thank you, Tomasi, for coming on the panel. Thank you so much for those who tuned in and watched. We had a lot of watchers for the preview and obviously reactions. So let's let the growth continue. If you're new, remember to like, share, and subscribe to Red Devil Studio. Also follow us on Twitch. The link is in the description. On Twitter, we are United X as well. Stay tuned. There'll be a watch along on Twitch for the Everton game, and I will be doing a match reaction to that as well. Pride, take care of yourself, buddy. Have a nice day, everyone. And cheers. Peace.